being a human being is really weird lately. It hasn't gotten less weird. I would go so far as to say it's been equally weird. But sorry, there's a person here now, so I needed to lock my doors. 'Cause, you know, murder and stuff. Murder by the cemetery, that's gonna be the name of this video. I got murdered by the cemetery. I'm gonna just grab my knife really quick so that I'm emotionally prepared. In case I have to stab somebody. So that's cool. Oh, I'll show you my knife later. When this other person leaves, if this other person leaves. Though they've now turned off their car lights, which makes me think that they might be here to make out, which is super cool. And I'm not jealous, actually, which is really nice. Something that I've been seriously thinking about since I was like 14 or 15 is breast reduction surgery. And it's like a really big thing. Like, that's a serious surgery. You go under anesthesia, and you have to take generally some fairly serious narcotics and or painkillers to feel better. The surgeon that I found, he's the highest rated in Utah with over like 7,000 reviews and reports, which is impressive and is why he's currently ranked #1. The next closest person has like 3,000 less reports. So that's a big factor in why I'm choosing to go and get a consultation from him. But this has been something that I've dealt with since I was a kid. I don't think really anyone in my life has a full picture about what having... This sounds like such a dumb thing to complain about, and I recognize that for a lot of people, this is not a serious or important thing. That they're like, oh, you have big boobs? Oh, poor you. Get the fuck over it. And fair. That's fair. That's a very fair point. I'll raise you one, though, that just because my issues are different than yours doesn't mean that yours are invalidated, but likewise, it doesn't mean that mine aren't just as valid. So I want to talk about this because I just need to I just want to tell how I feel. And it helps that it helps that I'm talking to a camera and that there's no one here giving me micro expressions. I'm not feeling any judgment or resentment or anything like that. It's just, I can just say all the things that I've felt and that I've thought. So I'm going to just do that. I am 28 years old. Yeah, that's how I want to start this. I'm 28 years old. I turned 30 in about a year and 8 months? A year and 8 months? I've had above average size breasts since the time that I was 12. Which is over half of my lifetime. Only by 2 years, but still, that is extremely significant. And to me anyway. And because of that, I've been overly sexualized by almost every single male human being, or really just anybody. Women too. For basically my entire life. I remember being a medium to a small size t-shirt and not being able to wear v-necks because it was nearly pornographic. I remember a middle school teacher snapping my bra when I was 12 years old. And not just snapping it, he snapped it so hard that it broke. And I walked around the rest of the day with my arms clutched to my sides because I was too embarrassed to go to the bathroom to fix it. I remember people that I thought were my friends in high school playing what they called booby basketball, where they would take crumpled pieces of paper and throw them at my cleavage and try to make baskets down my shirt. And sometimes if I was wearing a shirt like this one, they would pull open the collar to throw in the paper, because all I was sport and not a person. I remember comments from the time that I was 13 of people asking me if I got black eyes every time that I ran, and not fully understanding what it was at first, and then trying to take my power back and be the one who made the jokes, but always feeling just really dirty and really gross and less like a person because of these two fatty things on my chest being the only thing that people really wanted to talk about. I remember the first time that someone touched me without my approval, who was a peer, and then made fun of me for it when I was sexually assaulted by them. Hi, Troy, by the way. Still remember. Still super scarred. Fuck you. For real, though. But I just... They've been such a big and serious part of my life for the majority of my life that I don't even know what it would be like to be smaller. And we're going to talk a little bit about something else for just a second that all cycles back in. I have been... we're going to just use the term overweight, which I think is stupid, but it is what it is. Because how can you be overweight? You can only ever be a weight. Like, if you think about it, just from the science of words, I always get the science of words and the science of bugs mixed up, so I'm not even going to try and, like, insert that word here. If I do, it's going to be a little, like, bloop right there. But how can you be over something? And why is gaining weight a bad thing when literally every other sense of the word gain is a good thing? I understand that people are going to say, oh, it's for health reasons. I think that that's really stupid. That serves nobody. It serves no one. You're helping no one. My battery is dying, but lucky for me, I have a charged one. So, pause. Hey, we're back. Back and better than ever. Cool. Super dope. I'm getting cold. Oh, it is so loud. God damn. Cute. Isn't she pretty in pink? I love that song. Weight. That's what we were talking about. We were talking about weight. I've struggled. I have struggled with weight since pretty much since I hit puberty, since I got boobs. This is sort of how my story goes. So, I was 10, almost 11, and Jesus, could you be quiet, please? Thank you. Not actual Jesus, but my phone specifically. I was 10, And I lived in Delta, Utah, which, for those of you not from Utah, it's this tiny little, like, nothing of a town. It's super fun, and I absolutely loved it there as a kid. I remember getting together with, like, the neighborhood kids and goofing off and playing with ninja stars and learning how to shoot a bow and arrow and going on these, like, hours-long bike rides to get to my friend out in the rural part of the town, which, looking back, definitely not the safest choice, but, like, I was 10. I was going to do what I wanted to do. Also, letting a 10-year-old and her 6-year-old brother play with a bow and arrow, probably also not the smartest choice with no parental supervision. But, again, you do what you want to do. So, I went from being surrounded by, like, kids that I knew and neighbors that I knew and friends that I knew to we moved up to rural Idaho, away from the town, where my nearest playmate was like 3 miles away and I didn't know them. It was a big enough class that I didn't know everybody in my school. And then we moved again into town, and that made things a little bit better. But I think that the isolation that started when we were living in Salem, Idaho, carried on. And there was definitely a bit of depression because we also moved there right around my birthday. So all of my really good friends that I had made living in Delta, Utah, I was now a new girl, new kid in school. Like, it was right by my birthday. My parents were crazy busy. Nothing really felt about me anymore, and I was just really lost. And what I did is I turned to television to numb the loneliness and the sadness, and I turned to food to numb the boredom. And, like, looking back on that now, again, it's been 16 years, so I can, like, think about that and I can analyze it a little bit better, which is nice, for sure. It doesn't necessarily make it go away. It's really hard to break 16-year-old habits, in case you were unaware of that. But more so is that sort of started, like, and I'm not making excuses for myself. I'm literally just explaining how it feels on my side. But you're developing emotionally and you're developing physically and your hormones are going crazy, and suddenly you've got these huge tits for your tiny little, like, what, 4'9" frame. Like, literally, I was almost a C cup when I was 4'9". That's horrifying. And then I got to how tall I am now, which is 5'1", 5'2". It fluctuates because spines are weird. And I am currently spilling out of a triple D, which is because I'm lazy and Target doesn't carry in store the bra sizes that I needed to carry, which is, like, fine, not important. What's important is that all of that was happening and I didn't know what to do, and I didn't have healthy habits to fall back on to say, I don't need food to make me feel better. I don't need television to make me feel better. I can go out and do the things that make me feel better and be around people that make me feel better. So I've spent pretty consistently the last 3 or so years really seriously working on my relationship with food, trying to understand what it does for your body, like from a structural and molecular level, trying to understand what it does for your health and all of that jazz. And do I make perfect choices? No, for sure not, because I still don't fully know how to let go of those really bad habits. But some things that I have gotten better at is intuitive eating. I don't eat when I'm not hungry. And it doesn't matter how delicious everything is or sounds or looks or smells wherever I go. If my body isn't hungry, I'm not going to eat it. It's as simple as that. If it's not something that I enjoy eating, I'm not going to eat it. I no longer feel the need to tell myself, oh, well, this person made it for you, you have to eat that. No, I don't. I don't have to do anything that I don't find happiness and pleasure and enjoyment in. And that's the rule across the board. I don't want to be called a picky eater. I prefer particular, in that I have things that I like and things that I don't like, and that's totally fine, because literally every other person does. Every single person in the world. And even if they didn't, even if every single other person liked all of the same things and disliked all of the same things, I can still choose to not like the things I don't like, and to like the things I do like, and that's completely fine. And that has taken a lot of time and very concerted effort to get to that point, because you grow up with your moms and your dads saying, you eat what you eat, you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit. I put it on the table, this is what we're having tonight, you have no other choice. And I understand, this isn't me dogging on parents, I understand that parents do know what's best for their children. Like, you know that your children need to eat. I think the way that we do it definitely needs reform. But the fact that you're providing for your child is not something that I'm snubbing or frowning upon. This is all literally just my own experience, and I want to be very clear in saying that I'm in no way judging any parents, especially not my own parents, because I think that they did their very best. I was their first child. I am the guinea pig, and I recognize that. I also recognize, as someone who's currently the age that they were when they had me, that I know very little about life. There's still so much that I'm trying to learn and grow from and understand. And even the thought of adding another human life right now is scary. Sometimes the thought of adding more plant life is scary. Adding, like, even a pet is kind of terrifying, because what if I'm doing it wrong? So the fact that they even did it at all, double entendre fully meant there, but the fact that they even had children at all and put so much effort into making what I am biased in saying, but personally think are some 4 pretty damn good kids, hardworking, generally very kind and generous, intelligent, funny, like, good and good-hearted people. That's impressive. Like, kudos to you, Mom and Dad. That is pretty fucking impressive. The fact that we're not, like, drug addicts, or, which isn't, I'm gonna edit that part out, but the fact that we're not horrible people, no, that doesn't say anything, because honestly, that's, like, the bare minimum. But you god damn it, you instilled some really good things in us. And again, this isn't me dogging on you guys in any way, shape, or form. This is all really circling back. We're circling back to the breast stuff. To boobies. Yep, not gonna say any other words, because I don't want YouTube to take this down if they ever find it. Which they won't, but maybe they will. It's a lot to deal with as a kid. It's a lot to deal with as a preteen. It's a lot to deal with as a teenager. It's a lot to deal with as a young adult. It's a lot to deal with as an adult. It's a lot to deal with as a person. What I'm referring to here is the fact that for over half of my life, the first thing that people see and register and consume about me, or perceive, I guess is the word I want to use here, about me, it isn't my lovely smile, which honestly could sink ships. It's not the kindness that I work really hard at every day to be. It's not my eyes, which you can't fully see right now, but they're beautiful. It's not my dazzling personality. The first thing that people see when they see me is, oh, that girl's got big tits. And for some people, a lot of people really, it feels like that's where it stops. Or it goes one step further. It goes, wow, that girl has big tits. Oh, but it's because she's fat. And I've talked to doctors about this once or twice before. And oftentimes I hear, well, if you lose the weight and you still want to get them reduced, we'll do it for you. But here's the thing that they don't fully realize. I have been on a weight loss journey since I was 13. I have gone from 165 pounds to 135, 140 pounds, and they were still a double D. They didn't change at all. In fact, they got bigger. I've been from 180 to 200 pounds down to 160. They stayed the exact same. I am now currently at about 212 pounds, and they have gotten bigger, but I feel like I can consistently say from the scientific evidence that has been given to me in the past that even if I were to lose 50 pounds right now, there's a good chance, I'm sorry for yelling at you, even if I were to lose 50 pounds right now, I have a very strong gut feeling that they would stay the same, that they would continue to be ridiculously large. You can tell on camera right now, and it is, keep in mind it is distorted because that's how cameras work, but my breasts are literally physically bigger than my head. Like, just the right boob weighs more than my entire head. If you were to decapitate me, which is super graphic and probably not where this video needed to go, but if you were to just weigh my head and then weigh my right breast, it would weigh more, which is horrifying to me. That doesn't even make physical sense. And let's talk about the fact that I can't sleep on my back. I don't know if this is true for every girl with larger friends on her chest, but I literally, physically cannot sleep on my back because it has cut off my airflow before. Several times. Consistently. Still does. I have literally had to start gasping for air because I fell asleep on my back at the wrong angle and they crept up enough that it cut off my windpipe. And that's dumb. Boobs shouldn't be able to do that. Your boobs should not be able to kill you in your sleep. That's stupid, and I want a refund. And by that I mean I want an adjustment. And I don't feel like that's too much to ask for. I feel like that's a very reasonable thing to ask for, is to just not have my own death wish just right here on my chest. I would like the first thing that people to see and to realize about me is that she's a really lovely person. She's a really kind, wonderful person. I want to be able to walk into a room and just be normal. Not be like Big Tits McGee or the mayor of Titty City, which is what I feel like 100% of the time. Yeah. So, I guess what this comes down to is that, like, I want to stop being perceived, right? I want to just be a person. I don't want to be boobs. I don't want to be the girl with big boobs. The word boob has currently lost its meaning to me now. I just want to be a person and feel comfortable in my own skin and not like everywhere I go people are just staring at my chest. Pause. I guess finish up this long ass conversation. Thank you so much for listening if you've watched this. If you have any comments that are unkind or going to be about my weight, feel free to fuck right off, because I've heard them before. And I mean, you can say them if you really feel the need to say them. I don't care about your opinion. I was going to say, unless you're a licensed doctor, but honestly, even if you're a licensed doctor, because here's the thing, you're not my physician, so your opinion doesn't really matter. Sorry, babe. I would also like to end this video by saying, keep your hands to yourself. because consent is sexy. And if you don't have it, you don't have it. So keep your fucking hands to yourself. To the teacher who honestly traumatized me at a very young age. I know that there were other comments made after I graduated into junior high school, that they found unspeakable things on your computer, and the last I heard, you were on the run from the law. And I hope to God that they found you, and I hope to God that whatever prison you are in right now, you are suffering. Sincerely, I hope that for you. To the boys in my high school who drove me home and then groped me, fuck you. I know that in the scriptures or whatever, it says that in order to fully heal from our past, we have to forgive those who have hurt us. No. 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 It's not something that I dwell on. It's not honestly something that I think about very often. But from the very, very bottom of my soul, I want it to be made very clear that I will never forgive you for that. For making a little girl feel unsafe and feel like she was in a really bad situation. And also for the other girls that I know you did that to. On behalf of all of us, truly. Fuck you. Yeah. Big fuck you, bud. To the rest of the world, though I doubt that they'll ever see this, can we just start treating women like women, please? And like human beings? Because I gotta tell ya, it's really exhausting. It's just exhausting to have to deal with you people. Yeah, that's it. It's exhausting. I don't know. I have more thoughts jumbled up in my head, but it's getting late, and I haven't had dinner yet. And I'm getting quite hungry. So, I guess to fully end this video that has turned very angry, I'm gonna leave a last tiny piece of wisdom. It's really important to be kind. I know that's kind of hypocritical after the rant I just went on, but stay with me here. It's important to be kind and compassionate to those who need it. I don't think that victimizers and predators are necessarily the ones who deserve, maybe not deserve, but don't need kindness. I think we can all agree, actually, across the board, that victimizers and predators and rapists and sexual assaulters and the other scum of the earth that perpetrate violent acts against other human beings, in that form, specifically in this instance, they don't deserve my kindness. But for everyone else, I would love to go out of my way to be kind to you, because I know what it feels like to have the world be unkind, and to see you not as a person, but as maybe property, or as an object to play with. So my first instinct, and the one I urge you to also try and incorporate, is to be kind, to find compassion, to keep yourself safe, but most of all to be kind. Most of all be safe, but do your best to be kind. That's where I'm going to end this video. Thank you for those who have made it this far, or even who made it to the first couple minutes. Like, that's super cool. Peace on earth. I didn't get murdered in a graveyard. Those peeps left. Final thing. Here's my knife. Isn't that cool? It's the same one used by, a famous artist who I won't name, because he's actually a really shitty human being, but still a cool knife. Sharp as hell. Made in Savoie, France. Can you see that? Oh, wait for it. It's not gonna, you don't gonna see it. But I will show you the view, like I did last time. And I hope you enjoy it. Thanks.